What up, pilots? So, with the release of GD03, as sparse as it may be in your area, it is released. It's out on the streets. And a lot of people are flocking to a lot of decks right now that seem promising, that we know will be good into the format and shaking it up a little bit. But as you would know from me by now, I got to do something a little bit different. And I ran Epion into the fucking ground for last season. And now this season, I've picked my new target to try and master and make a mockery of the meta with. And let's start off with the big boy. Normally we do it the other way around, right? Normally we start small to big. But today, we're going to start big to small right here. The O. Take it to the O. The big O, right? This card grabbed my attention from the spoilers immediately, as it probably did a lot of people, right? And as all of the spoilers and everything came out, we thought more and more of this card, right? Oh my god, place all the repair guys from the set under this guy and then just rest and control the board, right? It seemed like 1-2 stop shop, especially what we were shown. Not only in Titan, but also in Juniper. And not all Titan cards are Juniper, but all Junipers are Titans. It's really weird, and it feels like every time they do something weird like that, it's for a reason. Sometimes because you need to play all of them in order to see success, or they all suck and you need to go with a different strategy to enable them. And this is one of those cards where the archetype really doesn't lend itself to what this card is trying to do. This is where it's unique. One, we're going to be all blue. This is Sanji's dream right here. We're not moving from this color. This is the first monocolored deck that I've built that actually makes sense. Most of the time, you can always come up with an excuse as to why to run a second color for a deck, for an archetype, for a theme, for a structure, right? But this is the first time where all of the pieces that we want to see are actually already in the desired color. So for that reason, here you go. Your all mono blue the O deck. Now, one of the things I saw, once again, is that all the Juniper cards, right? They're good into the archetype. They definitely lend themselves there. But there was a reoccurring theme that all the Juniper cards that had repair, or all the Titan cards that had repair, had very low defense. They had very nominal repair stats, but they had abysmal HP stats. So, what's the point of having repair if you're just going to die anyway? So I went with a different approach. So this is my The O Federation deck. The Federation O, I haven't come up with an official slogan yet, but this deck will feature a bunch of Federation. Why? Because a bunch of Federation cards not only come with the keyword that we're looking for, which is repair, which is the only thing this needs in order to go off, right? It doesn't need Titans. It doesn't say Titans, right? It says units with repair. And that's big, because if it said Titans or if it said Juniper, then we would only have one way to build this. But because all it does is specify the keyword, then that's all we need. And Earth Federation actually has our back here. So that's why I wanted to start with the high end versus the low end. So now that we have our established win condition, control condition, goal of the deck settled away, let's show how we build from the bottom up in order to support what this card wants to do in order to close out games. This card makes blockers inconsequential. And yes, even cards like Freedom can be rested by this with the correct conditions met. So we're resting like every card in the game except for a couple. And I think that's very, very good when it comes down to fulfilling the win condition of this game. So with that being said, here's the O, and let's show you how we build it. We'll start with our low targets here. Our Wave Rider. At first, this card was a proxy for something else. And then the more and more I played it, the more and more I saw how powerful this card was. Not only is its 2-3 stat line pretty nominal, right? We have a fat booty in 3. Rick Diaz does take us out. However, the most popular blocker in the game, Gundam Ilfrith, cannot touch this card, offensively or defensively. If we attack with this card and Ilfrith blocks, then we take 2, and then we heal 2, but we do a permanent 2 damage to that Ilfrith. So that Ilfrith can no longer block this card. And we heal the 2, so we're never in danger of a crackback or a trade. So this immediately wins over one of the most popular blockers in the game. And it's an early card that we already had, right? But it wasn't until we started to establish our meta that this card make more sense in this deck. And it's another reason why I'm glad it's in Earth Federation and with Repair, because even when you hit the O, they're still going to be your stray chump blockers. And this helps to also mitigate, like, why'd you play it? It wasn't going to do anything anyway, so let's just talk about it. And not only does this card lead out in front, but it also helps towards the end as well. So that's why it's a 4 of in the deck mandatorily in the beginning of the game. This card. Alright, let's talk about this card, right? This card normally hasn't been on anybody's radar ever. But once again, it's Earth Federation, as you'll see. And it fulfills 2 roles here. One, if you're facing off against Rushdown, this is a Launcher Strike Gundam. I repeat, if you're facing 1-year war or anything of the nature that spawns a bunch of monsters early on in the game, not only can you play this on curve going first, but then it turns into a Launcher Strike Gundam. It's a 3-4 blocker. 3-4 blocker. That's a Launcher Strike Gundam. And at very worst, you play this on curve anyway, and now this cracks EX base, and it has 4 defense. Launcher Strike Gundam needs to be played at level 4. Level 4. This card can be played at level 3 with the same stats, and can possibly be a blocker in tight situations, and is Earth Federation. People, wake up to some of these effects. Look at these stat lines. Judge the meta. These are good numbers. These are great numbers. And we've never looked at them until now. Until I made this video, you've never looked at this card and go, oh man, this is a really good card. This is a fairly decent card, and played under the correct circumstances is a very nominal, powerful card. The only thing that is missing is a link. And you can put whatever you want under there. We have a bunch of pilots that just boost this up. Imagine 2-1 stats going into this, and this being a 5-5. at turn 3 or 4, right? You're on turn 4, you play this. Well, this is already played, and then turn 4, you play a pilot under this, and this becomes a 5/5 on turn 4. This can threaten anything that would be played in the early game. This card is actually super useful. I wouldn't be surprised if more people started to realize that these stats matter more than the effect. And the fact that we have Rush in the format, or if you play this late game and your opponent has a bunch of units out, and now this is just a pseudo blocker for free with these stats, is impactful. Wake up. Wake up, people. For a little control flair, we're going with the gun cannons. They compare with 2 of our pilots, and yes, you'll see the pilots later, but they compare with 2 of our pilots. And this can also trade with gems, 2/2s, which are becoming more and more prevalent in the format and will become more prevalent. And this extra health on these smaller units will become more prevalent with the more and more purple is also played in the format. Mark my words, you want more HP coming into a very purple dominated format that's coming up in GD03. Look at Lupus. Look at all of the Barbadoses. Look at what Tekkadan wants to do. They want to ping. You need the extra HP or you'll just die. Look at Red. Red wants to deal 2 damage. Imagine Red Purple that wants to do 4 damage to you. It's a lot. And you need the health. You're going to need the health, people. You know, we got our boy, Grandpa Gundam, because we need the health. Because we need the rest. Because we need the +1 AP to all of our smaller guys. A lot of them have 2 AP. That 1 extra AP makes a difference when trading in the units and having repair. Everything that I've shown you pretty much has repair so far. And a lot of things are going to also start to have repair. Because having natural repair and playing the O gives you so much control advantage mid to late game. It's crazy how this deck controls the board. This is exactly what Blue wants to do. This is what Blue wants to do. High defense, nominal attack, boosting the attack, resting, trading favorably. It's not what every deck gets to do outside of White. And White's blockers won't be able to stand up to this stuff when you can rest. Speaking of which, we just add another guy who just has his way with the board. We finally get to run the Delta Plus. And then when paired with one of our 2 pilots, we have Armor and we have Lane Aim. And they both link with this Gundam. And then it gets the +1 AP and the repair. It's going to do the O stuff immediately when we play correctly. It's going to take over the board. The 6/5 when linked with Armor O or Lane Aim, 6/5. That matches Grandpa. And it has repair 1. We get some favorable trades. What happens when every unit that we play has repair and they're sticky and we're getting favorable trades the entire time we pick in our battles? This is what I'm talking about, the power of all blue. And this alone is scary when we have the necessary pilots to go into both of these. Armor can go into 7 of these right here. Lane Aim can go into 3 of these. Plus, you know if I said Lane Aim, what we're running at the top end alongside the O. And half, no, not more than half is the deck Earth Federation. So you know what we're dropping, right? NT1. I used to think this card was a 2 of. This card is a 3 of at least. Being able to ping and destroy something and draw a card is invaluable when your units are not only trading into people and surviving, but other people have to trade into us. We're almost getting a 2-for-1 special when trading correctly. Oftentimes that leaves Gundams barely alive, 1, 2 HP. Guess what? This is here to clean up. And because we can put lane aim and get a high maneuver if we draw and destroy something, but this is just another thing for Amuro to suit itself in. Look at the Grandpa Gundams, the Delta Pluses, and now NT1, one of the best pilots in the game, can go into so many units and impact the board in so many ways. And we can put Amuro in this, rest something that has 1 HP, and then kill it and draw. We have so much draw power in the deck that we can't help but to see these combos. A card that I had to come around to but eventually mentioned was the Masala. I was running Psycho Gundam at one point, but it's too much to work with the Psycho Gundam, even though I really like the Breach and the passive heal, since it is a Titan. This just works better, because not only is it a blocker, but it's level 6, so it'll help us control some of the level 6s once the O is out. But it trades favorably in the stuff like Grandpa, so if you're playing a mirror match, if Grandpa doesn't rest this and chooses to rest something else, then this can freely block Grandpa because 6-5, right? So this kills. Also, this kills Airstrike when it's not targeting this and targeting something else. But that 5 attack and that 4 defense really makes a difference. And because of it can be link paired, we can also take our pilot and put him under that as well. So just another reason why this card might be undervalued as well. We started with our big top. We'll end with our other big top, Penelope. Because the deck is basically, unit-wise, 95% Earth Federation, why not? We get access to high maneuver. We get access to card draw. And we get access to favorable trades. And if this is out already and then we play the O, we can play the O, pair the O, and then give this repair 2, swing, and then rest the Freedom Gundam. And if it has this pilot under it, we have high maneuver. So there's nothing that can stop us. So even if New Freedom is out and we can't deal damage to shields, having lane aim under this and then drawing from the effect and being given high maneuver means we can attack into anything. So that's another reason why lane aim is in the deck, because freedom is a problem in this format, and any white player that can protect it can effectively live forever. So having high maneuver is more important than ever. So having lane aim in the deck is already a boost to being able to deal with that problem, and then Penelope being able to draw you cards and attack on the same turn and making them have to produce another freedom or risk losing the game type of situation is invaluable. Please look out for New Freedom. So that's another reason why lane aim and Penelope are in the deck as a top end. Speaking of which, let's talk about our pilots. Our number 1 MVP, new type boy, Amuro. I'm not going to go on a rant about Amuro. If you don't know about Amuro, if you haven't been losing or winning with Amuro, then there's no reason to explain Amuro to you. But Amuro is Amuro, and he links with so many people in the deck that it's crazy. Next is lane aim. I made a whole video about lane aim, and now I get to play lane aim in a deck. If you don't know, go watch that video. If you don't, then eventually you will get lame aimed out when you think you're about to live and you can't, because surprise, I drew a card and now my blue unit has high maneuver. I win the game, and every card in the deck has high maneuver, so every card in the deck has a potential to win the game under the correct circumstance. Yay! And then man. Yes, you heard what I said. I hate having to say his name, but him linking with our O and giving it +2/+2, or any unit for that matter of fact, +2/+2, and all of our units have repair, means that you can just stick this guy under anybody with repair, and now it just became the stickiest minion ever. And if you don't give me 2 or 3 guys, it might be a problem. So this pilot is just even better than what it looks like, because it makes your blue units sticky. All right. I love this deck. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. We're about to wrap up here, though. Our commands, because we run lane aim, because we're in blue, because a lot of people don't have drawing capability, we should always maximize what we can do better than most other colors is draw. This card draws and rests. If you are a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, this is Upstart Goblin plus enemy controller. Yes, it's exactly what I said. We also run the resolves. More draw equal more combo equal more control equal your opponent using 2 to 3 cards and you being able to use the same amount of cards and then stabilize in the long game. Yay! It's the reason why Win Your War is so good, because it uses the blue to stabilize. It's so good. And then my tricky little secret. Siege Ploy. Siege Ploy will rest a lot of things in the game. In fact, most things in the game will get rested to Siege Ploy, and you can use it actively or defensively, or it can come out of life. It has saved me in game, in life, once or twice. So being able to use this in 3 different ways in a deck that wants to rest everything anyway and just take your opponent's hand away is amazing. This deck will punish your opponent for playing a bunch of cards from their hand. Try it. I dare you. I will win. And then lastly, Nahel. And then Experiment card. This is the only card I'm not super 100% on. It works. It keeps units alive. We have repair. Sometimes that matters. You can repair something that you know will go to full health, but would die if it traded with a thing right now. You can heal it right now and then attack, survive, and then repair, and then it's still sticky for your opponent to deal with. It's not the worst. I might go to a 2-2 split of something else, but right now the 3 Nahel, being able to rest something because your opponent attacked you is amazing. I wouldn't take it away for the world. It's amazing. It might go to 4. I don't know, but it's kind of good. This is kind of okay. Lastly, you're going to ask, why don't I run an appropriate amount of these other cards that are already in the archetype? It's because they suck. Some of them are okay. Some of them allow you to do dumb stuff. I really like this card, and it's not an archetype. It has repair. It's level 6. It meets the requirements of talked about other earlier cards, but it also draws 1. And drawing is amazing. That's why we run the cards that we run, because drawing is amazing. This card is huge. It also has repair, and it can rest a 0. It can rest a Lupus. It can rest a bunch of people. But you have to make it here. And blue will make it here. It's an inclusion, but not with the list that I have currently that seems to be working. I thought about this card, but the other grandpa that I ran already is better. It has 4 defense unpaired, and that makes a difference. One of these trades with Rick Diaz, the other one does not. That's a difference. Drawing the 1 card when paired is not the hot stuff. We already have repair 2 on the other one as well. This only gives repair 1. As much as I'd like to run this card, it's just not good. Not for what I want to do. But as you can see, I've thought about all these cards in some capacity. Gun cannon is the only thing that I'd probably cut if I had to cut something. But other than that, this is mono blue, and this is how I've chosen to put it together. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you're running something different, let me know. I'm always down for suggestions. But for right now, I think without white, this deck answers a bunch of questions. Start asking questions about the meta and how you can answer it, especially coming into GD03. This has been my TED Talk. Thank you. Come back soon. Peace.